Welcome, MetaFlora family, to the 5th episode of Beyond the Haze. Who's ready to go to space?
MetaFlora Unfiltered presents Beyond the Haze. Welcome to MetaFlora Unfiltered. Unfiltered. Trip.
MetaFlora unfiltered flow. Canna cause crypto, let 'em know. Gather chain 3 times, let's go. Get the smoke rolling up, start the show. MetaFlora unfiltered flow. Canna cause crypto,
How we doing today, Clark?
Hey, what's going on? I'm
man.
much better. Tooth's doing better. Got the full Santa Claus costume on today. Got my Canadian healthcare. I don't know if you can see that.
All right.
Can't spell healthcare without THC, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I got my high bear fired up. And
Me and you the same, brother.
I've got a tea in here, a cannabis tea that I'm trying out to see how it works in here. And so far, so good. Very simple recipe. I'll shoot it over to you later today. I don't know exact measurements because I kind of, it's like a teaspoon of solid coconut oil, a gram of non-decarbed cannabis. You can use decarbed if you want to, but I have a neuropathy going on in my legs, so I'm kind of targeting that. A double chai tea, some whole milk, some mountain wildflower honey, and I put it all in the middle and shake it up, let it sit for probably 5-10 minutes. And
Now, is it strong enough to send you to the moon? You
no,
going into orbit?
this won't get you any psychoactive because it's non-decarbed.
Okay.
So
Nice.
the idea
Sounds
is that the
healthy.
THCA will help with this neuropathy.
Yeah, we have Bozidar Radisic, founder of the Research and Nature Institute. He's been at the forefront of medical cannabis research, particularly developing cannabis-based treatments for neurological conditions, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease. And today we have an exciting discussion. His groundbreaking study is going to harness space-induced mutations in cannabis breeding. He's going to be sending cannabis seeds aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9, and he's planning on exploring genetic diversification and exposure to space environments. So when that study comes back, or when those seeds come back, they're going to be doing a 2-year research and development period in Slovenia. This is going to be significant in the advancement in cannabis cultivation and medicinal applications. If I'm correct, he's also going to be sending up some flower products and some extracts as well. And I know Clark and I have been fighting over who's going to be able to test that. But let's bring him on up here. How we doing, Bozidar?
Hello, Bozidar.
Hello, my pleasure.
Long time no see. Last we talked was at the Science and Technology Fair conference in Slovenia there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you've been up to a lot of stuff here recently. Some really exciting things coming our way.
Yes. You know, we always go with the flow. You never know what is behind the corner. Space as well.
And that brings us right to the first topic, which is going to be space, right? And cannabis in space.
I sent Greg my abstract for Budapest conference, And the point is that cannabis will be, with humanity, not just on Earth, also up in the space. Because we
Sure.
need food, fiber, and medicine.
And cannabis is a universal plant for that. It was the first plant that we cultivated as farmers with agriculture. There's a lot of evidence to support that anyway. And there's no reason to see that it wouldn't be the first one there because of the versatility of it. Because, like you say, food, textile, and medicine. It's all.
Yeah.
It's everything we need.
Exactly. And fibers, even for space colonies, and even the cannabis polymers. You can do some polymers and out of cannabis. So, it's
Absolutely.
very promising. Let's put it that. It started like a joke. You know what I mean? Because my friends, we are sending something into space. Will you send something? And so I sent cannabis seeds, cannabis flower, dry flower, and the extract. And now with seeds, we will start to see if there will be any mutagen reactions because of the, space environment.
Now, has this launched already, or is it still due to go up?
It will go up in the second quarter of 2025, but the seeds are, and everything is already in Vandenberg, space base in California. I think it's Vandenberg.
And so it's not just seeds that you're sending up there. You're actually sending up some flower product and some extracts, huh?
To see how the cosmic environment affect, the medicine.
So who gets to test this when it comes back?
I will.
Can I be invited? Clark and I will be the first ones over there to smoke some space weed with you. That's for sure.
Yes, that would be far out, as they say, right? I'm really interested to see the results of it because it doesn't just have implications for cannabis, of course, but it would have implications for all agricultural products, which we are going to need if we are going to colonize even the moon. We are, it's very expensive to ship a can of beans to the moon, but if you can grow a can of beans, that's a lot better, right? And
grow microgreens from seeds. It's very important nutrition, actually. In microgreens, you have a lot of flavonoids and other active compounds. Then you can grow under very intense light. We know how it works. You know what I mean?
Sure. And there's a lot of solar up there, so they have lots of electricity.
Yeah. And, I think it's very promising because it's, as you said, very versatile plant. And it's the most researched plant on the planet. But now we will see, if they want to use any seeds in space, it's important to know if and how, what will be the changes because of the cosmic environment. I don't know. I don't expect anything. You know what I mean? I don't expect anything. Therefore, it's a little bit hard to get investors for such a study because it will be like 300,000 euro study in 2 years. Because
that's important to know. I mean, I think that's almost like the effect that you're wishing for. You don't want to have the effect on it. You want it to be a strong plant that's thriving in the end. That way we can produce these fibers or the medicine that's going to be required when we're doing this type of space travel. When we're, that many miles away from Earth, we need to have everything directly there at our hands, right?
Absolutely. And let's not discount the importance of the recreational side of cannabis on colonization as well. Because I think we would much rather have people de-stressing by smoking or consuming cannabis than we would alcohol. And
totally.
Right, I don't think Mars full of alcoholics would be a really good idea, right? But
it's easier to produce cannabis on Mars than alcohol.
Absolutely.
100%.
I would much rather be in an environment that allowed cannabis and not alcohol as well. So how long do you figure? So once these seeds come back,
Yeah.
you'll germinate them, I imagine, and then you'll check to see, like, if they're males. You'll check the pollen for any mutations, I would assume.
Let's put it that way. I am not big enough to do everything by myself, but
Sure.
I collect the team or choose the team who will do it. So the main job will be done on the Faculty of Biotechnology in Ljubljana, Slovenia, and this study will be like for 2 years, because usually all the mutagens reactions are coming in second, third, even fourth generation, not in the
Okay.
first one. So therefore,
Understood.
study will be longer time, and we will
So you'll have to sprout 4 generations before you see.
exactly for cannabinoid and other active compounds profiling. I just asked yesterday Lumir Hanush, you know him. He was actually the one who discovered anandamide 30 years ago with Meshulam. So
Okay.
he will
Yeah,
be
he's a Israeli doctor, right?
yes. He
Yes.
will be on team. He's actually Czech.
Oh
from
yeah,
Czech.
that's right. He's from Czech. Mhm.
Yeah, but he works in Israel because Meshulam invited him together with Bill DeWayne and other who discovered endocannabinoid system, actually, you know.
Mhm.
So this is big reference for us. And then it's my lab guy also from the Faculty of Health Sciences. So we have very good team, you know, to really, and we will check DNA changes with PCR, but not PCR, with real machine PCR, where you can sequence the DNA. So we will see if there are any differences. It will be also interesting, you know, also how the genotype will change, and also the phenotype later, how will be different. And I have around 150 seeds sent to space, and I have another 400 back home in my refrigerator as a control seed. So
Right.
then
Perfect.
we can figure out what is going on. But again, you know, it's hard to get investors. It's an idea, but I don't know what will be the results. You know, but any results are okay. If there are no effect on cannabis, it's good to know. And it's also good to know if there are any effects on cannabis. You know what I mean?
Whatever the result is going to be, it's going to be added knowledge to the cannabis knowledge base. We will know
Exactly.
more. And like I say, it'll also be able to. There's other plants in the similar DNAs, like hops and a few other plants that humans use, that we could also benefit from this study looking at.
Yeah, that's
For
why I'm
sure.
so interested in this entire thing that you're doing over there. That's why we created MetaFlora in the first place. We wanted to have this library of information, like no matter what kind of results we're testing on that plant in today's world, when we have that information all in one place, we have this ability to aggregate it in the future. So as these test results keep getting more complex and complex, like when I started this company, I never thought, well, maybe one day we're going to have space weed information happening on chain into our database, because it was outside of our realm of thinking. But now, sitting here with you, you're like, no, we're doing it, and we have this extensive amount of research going into it, and you're expecting that nothing's going to happen, and that's exactly what we need to know, 100%. And are you going to be sending up more than one type of genetic? I know you got 150 seeds, and then you're going to have a different array of different types of phenotypes being popped out from there. But what's the approach there?
Fortunately, it happened overnight. So I called my good friend Simon from Sirius Seeds. You know him, I'm sure you know him. He has very stable genetics, and it was a matter of days. So now it's one genetics, but
Okay.
the next step, I have to roll one. The next step is I want to do autonomous growing box for ISS. Because it
super
will
cool.
be on ISS for 2 months, and then we can grow for 60 days, and we will follow all the data about the radiation, the solar radiation, whatever, and then we will see what will happen. I know the crop will, but we will see. We will have camera. We will capture photos every day or every hour or whatever.
Woo!
I will
I'm going to be following
volunteer.
your grow journal, that's for sure.
I will volunteer to be the grow master on that.
No.
particular grow.
I'll be the assistant if you want, but
That's it. The two of us will go up
I'm
there
first in
and
line on that one.
we will grow
And,
those auto flowers for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they auto flowers? Because that makes the most amount of sense off the top of my mind.
No, this which I sent is the normal F1 hybrid,
for-
regular, not feminized.
But for ice, you're thinking auto flowers for 60 days.
I don't know yet. Because for ISS, I will need around 200,000 euro just for the launch and to be up there. Fucking, it's expensive.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But
Yeah,
still,
but I know you're saying it's hard for people to want to invest in this, but I think that they're crazy. Anybody saying no to this type of opportunity doesn't understand the opportunity that they're looking at right now. So
I know, but if you are a bit ahead of your time, you always are fucked.
Sure,
because
sure. First, you're called crazy.
then you're
Then
called
you can't get
genius.
financing because it's not going anywhere. And then you find something, and then everybody wants in, but they want you out.
I don't know if it's going to be in the case of him. No,
No, but that's
you got
how
a very
that's
strong
how they
background.
like to do it. Ask
know.
Nikola Tesla. Look what
Yeah,
happened to him.
that's right. I know.
Right? The only guy that was good with it, Edison. But Edison went and did that to everybody else.
Mhm.
listen,
You don't want to be either one of those guys.
Nikola Tesla was born 5 or 7 kilometers from the place where my grandfather used to live.
And I am in the place where he became famous. I'm in Niagara Falls, where he powered the world. He showed how to power the world. We have a statue to him right down by the water there.
We owe him
And
big
there's
time.
Yeah, really.
now I wanted to move on to another subject away from space weed, if you don't mind. And I'd like to talk about cannabis suppositories.
Yeah.
Since we have you here, there's nobody with a greater knowledge of using cannabis medicine rectally through suppositories. I understand. I believe Tommy Chong had prostate cancer and used RSO through rectal suppositories, and he credits that with curing his prostate cancer. And I also understand that it's not like coffee, where if you drink coffee, you only get so much effect, but if you have a coffee enema, you get like 10 times the effect. I believe it's the opposite, isn't it? You can take a much higher dose through rectal suppository of cannabis.
It's all about the pharmacokinetics of the THC, delta 9 THC in the body. So the most desirable compound for cancer or any other disease is delta 9 THC, right? And
Yes.
it's good if we have the levels. This was my thinking 10, 15 years ago when I started this story, how to keep the level of delta 9 in the body as high as possible for as long as possible. Because if you eat it, all delta 9 THC will in liver and stomach transform into delta 11 THC, and then you are really stoned from delta 11, and delta 11 doesn't bind to the receptors. So most of the effect is that you're stoned as hell, right?
Wow.
Like
Right.
when you drink too much bang or eat too much cookies, that's the effect. If you put this into your rectum, you know, in case of oral ingestion, you have those peaks of delta 11, and then you are high when you really up. But if you put this in your ass, then the THC will dissolve into blood in rectum and into lymph, which is even more important than into blood. Because researchers found out that the levels of cannabinoids in lymph are up to 100 to 200 times higher than in blood, which is normal because lymph is very lipophilic. It means it absorbs the fat very well. So, and the base for the suppositories is organic cocoa butter. It's fat, you know. And then this delta 9 THC, it circulates through the body in high doses, but through liver goes always just a steady small dose. So you don't have peaks. You have curve is quite, you know, uniform.
And this is important. It's same idea as taking an antibiotic every 4 hours, so you keep a level, as opposed to peaks and valleys.
Exactly.
Now, and I guess the access to the lymphatic system makes rectal even better than sublingual, because sublingual is still going to go blood through liver, et cetera, not at the same rate as oral digestion, of course, but because sublingual has been the way most people have progressed in Canada. Here we put suspension oils, and we tend to put them under our tongue and let them try to absorb that way, or we take capsules and people swallow. And CBD is much more prevalent than THC because of stigma, of course. People never take enough BD, and they take too much THC in a lot of cases. So it's medical has kind of taken a back seat to recreational in Canada since we fully legalized here. And of course, a big part of that is something else that I think, from my reading, you're a big advocate of, is the lack of education of people in the medical field when it comes to cannabinoids and cannabis. And one of the reasons for this whole show is that we want it taught in every medical school across the globe. Ignoring an entire system in our body, the endocannabinoid system, is akin to, say, ignoring the lymphatic system. We need to know exactly what the endocannabinoid system does, how it regulates other systems, how it does these things. And we need to teach our doctors that, so that they're not afraid to put people on a cannabis cycle of medication in order to avoid so many other problems. Like, it's the only painkiller I know of that can't kill you. Every other painkiller we have can kill you one way or another.
I realized already more than 10 years ago that the key is the education. Therefore, I started to organize scientific conferences. Last 5 years or 4 years, I am co-organizing the seminars on the Faculty of Health Sciences in Ljubljana for doctors and nurses. We organized the seminary on the medical faculty in Bosnia, in Zenica. So we are quite active because, you know, you are afraid of things you don't know.
Sure.
That's right.
And that's the
and
point.
it doesn't help. It's one thing to not know something. It's also another to have been told horror stories, false, fictional horror stories for 70 years about something, and then try to convince you that it's not. That's
I know.
and that's one of the things I really love about the research is like when I was younger, cannabis was going to kill your brain cells. Well, it turns out that it may actually have neuroregenerative and neuroprotective qualities when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia and whatnot. Um, what were the other things? Oh, you smoke cannabis, you're going to be fat. Well, it turns out most regular cannabis users have much lower BMI than non-regular users. You're going to be lazy and stupid. Well, Michael Phelps would argue with that. Like there's so many, you know what I'm getting at is that all these things that we were told, they weren't true. And the opposite seems to maybe be true. But the only thing that's going to get around that, I think, is the research and we need more. And we need to push. We need to organize as advocates all around the world and get together like this and discuss it and push.
We also realized with Alex, how to organize the conference in Slovenia because we are not big enough for B2B conference like Berlin or I don't know MJBiz or whatever. So we decided to go through science and technology, and
Absolutely.
not just medical, because medical is just one segment of everything. And I don't like that cannabis is under the Ministry of Health. It should be under Agricultural Ministry, you know what I mean? Because it's fucking crop.
True.
What else it is? I know it must be regulated on the market because everything is regulated. Everything, even coffee, tea, whatever is on the market is regulated, right?
Right.
Sure.
And it should be somehow regulated, but it should be allowed for use, So now in Slovenia, most of the patients are self-sufficient because we have a lot of verdicts of Supreme Court that growing of cannabis for your own purposes as medicine is not a criminal offense. Of course, it cannot be. If suicide is not a criminal offense, I don't want to kill myself with cannabis. I want to help myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's such a hypocrisy you cannot believe.
That's how we did it here too, was through the Supreme Court. And eventually they relented on the recreational side of it as well. Hopefully one day cannabis will be on the shelf with herbal medicine.
Please. It's a personal use. It's not a recreation if you lay on the couch and smoke a joint.
Right.
Different connotation, okay?
Personal use. I will correct my speech to do that because all use has a type of medicinal benefit because the relaxation, the enhancement of music or art or all those things are therapeutic.
Of course.
So it's the therapeutic use of cannabis.
Whatever.
Personal therapeutic use.
Whatever, right.
Because
Give me my damn pot.
recreation is, when you think about recreation, is something else. You run, you make some sport or whatever. Yeah.
True. The
Yeah.
recreational use of cannabis is the growing of it.
Yeah.
Because that's physical.
Listen, you were talking before that you want to enhance the possibility to help people. I have another project, big one. I am just the initiator and the uncle from behind, because I don't have time for everything, but I am now collecting the data about the strains and diseases and the patients for last decade, let's put it that way. And I have a lot of data.
Okay.
And then now when we were in Colombia, we were talking, brainstorming. And we will make the application with a questionnaire. It will be app, where we collect all possible data from the patients as a feedback, but just from the patients with known cannabinoid profiles and known dosages and application routes, And as this base will grow, then we will have more feedback for which disease or for what, because I don't want to work on strain names. I want to work with cannabinoid profiles, because one strain can have 10 different cannabinoid
That's right.
profiles, because it's fucking marketing. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
I want to
And strain
connect.
names are unreliable. You can
Yeah, and then you have to know genetics and cannabinoid and terpene profiles. And there is another project we want to do in Ljubljana, but fuck, we need more money. It's to develop the method so that I can take your blood and measure all your endocannabinoids in your system, so we can adjust, the intake of phytocannabinoids to your endocannabinoid system, because this will be the key for the most effective use of cannabis.
Okay. Yeah, that's brilliant, because so many people suffer from cannabinoid deficiency syndrome, and they suffer from things like fibromyalgia or migraine headaches or irritable bowel syndrome and many other things that are basically imbalances. And there's initial studies showing that this is more than likely a cannabinoid imbalance. So that I think that's a very promising.
The problem is that all those pioneer studies, I cannot promise anybody anything. It's not classic pharma study, where you can promise, okay,
Oh, absolutely.
So I need I would need crazy people like Elon and company to fund such research. You know what I mean? It's just people who give
Yeah.
who give money away,
So we'll see.
and that's hard to find. I cannot go to
What,
bank. I cannot
what
go.
about a cooperative? What about a cooperative faculty that has some money at their disposal when it comes to making decisions on studies like this? I know that there's some really high interest in this type of thing here in Canada, and the industry has mandated a certain percentage of it to be put towards different types of studies, and I think this one might be something that is pitchable to them around here. But we could maybe get, there's a lot of interest at the University of Toronto or McGill. I can put out some feelers and get back to you. Could you send some particulars of these prospective studies to Tripto, and I can see where we can do from there?
But the problem is that this study is very innovative, and I don't really want to spread, it's confidential very. It must be really for your eyes only, or because
Yes.
you know how it is.
Anyone I show it to, I would get them to sign an NDA, and I'm willing to sign one, of course.
Yeah,
I
same
am
here.
I have no
already
problem with
in
that.
contact with European Space Agency now, and Slovenian Space Agency, and I'm looking, guys, if you have contact to SpaceX, and
I
I'm
do
looking,
actually. Yes.
I will also contact NASA, because they are also very much interested of colonization and such study, and 300,000 is nothing for them, it's like a piece in the Pacific Ocean.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here in Canada, with the medical side of things, we've made some really good progress, and I believe we have the only people in that mandated in the healthcare anywhere in the world to have taken courses in cannabis, and that is our pharmacists. At least in Ontario, in order to be a licensed pharmacist, you have to have a certification in cannabis and how it interacts with various pharmaceuticals and whatnot. Otherwise, you cannot renew your license. And so we're making progress that way. The doctors, you see it in practice where the doctors are using it more, particularly oncology. They use it as a companion, I think, more than anything to chemo, to relieve symptoms of chemo, as opposed as a treatment. But it's a step in every direction. The other one is geriatrics. We're seeing the doctors themselves are saying it's the patients, the seniors, that are saying, I don't want that crap you're giving me. I want that marijuana my grandson brings me.
We are old hippies, right? We smoked. I smoked almost 50 years ago, my first joint. And now we are almost seniors. So of course we will demand our joint. You know what I mean? Do you know that CBD potentially can be fatal or way worse than THC? CBD can be very dangerous in case if you are taking certain drugs, because it affects the metabolism of certain drugs in the liver. We made a study with Professor Neubauer on the pediatric clinic, and now from then on, last 4 or 5 years, every kid who received the CBD, they take the blood samples and they measure the levels of the anti-epileptic drugs in serum, because if you use parallel CBD and anti-epileptic drugs, you should lower the the dosages, because it's the higher level in the serum. And this should doctors know, especially pediatric doctors. It's very important. Yeah. By itself, CBD is harmless, but in certain cases can be dangerous. Let's put it that way.
Another one, it cancels out a lot of anti-cholesterol drugs as well. Statin drugs. Anything where they tell you don't have grapefruit, you probably shouldn't have CBD either. Is a general rule.
Yes.
Again, folks that are watching, our disclaimer at the beginning: we're not doctors, we're not pharmacists, but there's a lot of knowledge here. Take it with you as some of what you learn, and take it to your medical professional before you act on it unilaterally. We're here for advice and we're here for education, but don't forget to make sure that you tell anyone who's treating you for anything about all of your substance use, because it's important for them to know, because have interactions.
When pharma industry or isolated insulin from the pig's pancreas, it was 1 year from isolation to introduction to the mainstream medicine. 1 year. We know about the endocannabinoid system and all the benefits for 30 years, and fucking nothing happens, And it's actually bureaucratic obstacles, It just, nowadays, you can hardly find a politician who is against cannabis, at least in medicine. But bureaucrats, they are fucking everything up. Unelected officials, NIH, FDA, Police, of course.
Yeah, they see it as going to take away their funding. I think one of the greatest arguments I heard when we were legalizing here in Canada, the funniest argument I heard was, it's going to put police dogs out of work. The dogs, a certain percentage of the dogs were going to have to retire.
Listen, what's happened in Berlin since April 1st from legalization?
With the clubs.
No, with legalization,
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was in Berlin for that that conference.
criminal rate fell for 68%. Police, they don't have anything to do anymore. It's
See,
70%.
that's exactly what you were saying, Clark.
But listen, if we translate otherwise, so 70% of all criminal cases was fucking cannabis.
In
Yeah,
Germany,
exactly.
yeah. Or at least started with cannabis, with the
Yes.
cop saying, "I smell cannabis."
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, it's
It's
such
an
a-
excuse for them, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's
Absolutely.
I never. Luckily, I never suffered a casualty myself as in the war, but I know you've spent some time in prison as a result of it, or in jail, and I know several others have as well. When my wife was diagnosed with her brain tumor, Canada was waiting for a Supreme Court decision, and on whether patients were going to be allowed to grow at home or not. And so my wife got this diagnosis. Everyone else had been grandfathered, but no new patients were allowed. So I phoned the chief of police, and I said, "Here's what's going on. My wife has a brain tumor, and I'm going to be growing cannabis in my backyard to treat it. And if this Supreme Court case comes down and says that we can't, then I'll deal with that when I would deal with it. But thought I'd just call you and let you know because, I'm willing to go to jail if you think you have to come and arrest me for it." But so he was like, "Okay, listen, here's my cell phone number. If anyone comes to your house to take those plants, have them call me."
Very nice.
That was our chief of police. So, even they didn't want to enforce it at the
Yeah.
end. So,
In Slovenia, I advise people, patients, to tell police that it's theirs, patients. Because you will hardly find a judge or police who will imprison the patient with glioblastoma or terminal face cancer or what.
Yeah, even if that's a topic of discussion, like, oh, should we? Yes, like, should we allow these people to grow medicine in their backyard? Let's pull a meeting together and decide on this. If that's even a question of the conversation, I mean, there's only one route to go. You're going to
Yeah.
prevent something from happening based on these old laws. It makes absolutely no sense.
But listen, we have the convention from fucking 1961. You know how many things changed from 1961 in 63 years?
Oh.
And we are still talking about bullshit, And who is against in the state? Establishment, not the politicians. You know what I mean? Establishment is always
Yeah.
the biggest obstacle.
it's those that fund the politicians. The politician themselves is all for it because the people. But then they go back to their office and they get told what they're allowed to vote for.
Yeah, they say over and over again, "Oh yeah, I'm a proponent of this. I support it," but not one thing has changed ever.
Yeah.
In the
Nothing
last
ever comes up for a vote.
nothing ever comes out of it. They
Yeah.
just it's a talking point. It's it's something for us in the cannabis industry to grab onto, and then nothing ever equates to anything in the end. It's only from people that are doing the work like you are and like you are that's putting that word out there, where it's now we're getting to the point where I know I had this conversation with you in Slovenia about, CBD is a stepping stone. And I believe your words were, fuck that, THC is, this is an agricultural product and we need to be looking at it like this in the end, no matter what. And whatever hurdles and hoops that we have to jump through, they should never have been there to begin with. We don't need this ease into this legal sphere of anything. All of it is absolute bullshit, and we need to just move on with ourselves.
Everything is just bullshit. I will tell you now something. Whoever can stop the world overnight because of the fucking flu can do whatever they want to do. You know, 4 years ago, you remember,
Yep.
they stopped the world because of what? And those are the same
because of the virus. Yeah.
people, you know.
Yeah, for the virus.
Yeah,
Mhm.
NIH, WHO, UN, FDA, NIH, all the motherfucker. Sorry.
All the agencies. Yeah. The thing with that is, they all, again, it comes back to 80 years of fear mongering, right? You then have to get the same people that told you how bad it was to tell you how good it is. And they're not, they find that really hard to say, I was a jackass to you for 80 years. I'm sorry. I was wrong. The worst thing a government or a bureaucratic agency for them to ever say is, we were wrong. They will never say this until it's well long enough. Everybody's retired. And then they can say, those guys, they didn't know what they were talking about. 100 years ago, they were idiots. But we knew 65 years ago, but we didn't do anything either. But those guys, they're the really bad ones. And, this is what we have to overcome. But I see it speeding up. I see it us breaking down those barriers faster and faster. And throughout the world, more and more. And that is only through exactly what you said. Pure evidence-based knowledge. You
That's right.
cannot argue with facts. You bring them the facts to the table and you show them their bullshit that they told us for 80 years. Here's the facts, the real studies that show the facts, and here's what you told us, and they don't match, homie.
Yeah, they look stupid now.
Right? Now, you're going to
Each one of them.
continue to stand there and tell me that it does this stuff, all this fear-mongering, or are you going to accept these facts? Like, let's go back to what you said about the flu, like you asked us to do with the COVID. These are the scientific facts. Stop being double-sided on your coin. Let's get there so that it's a betterment of all of us, the human race. We all get better medicine. We all live longer. It costs us all less. You as a government, it's going to cost you a lot less.
Is it in their interest that something is cheap?
Well, because then it allows them to siphon more money off in another direction. But in the end, it makes us all healthier. And I'm not sure that's necessarily every government's goal, but I know it's every person's goal. And that's our responsibility to make our governments responsible.
You also have this woke culture in Canada and the United States, right? And they are all shouting, my body, my choice. So what about cannabis? We are talking about controlled suicide. This is okay, but no, cannabis is not okay. It's something, evil, and, it's such a hypocrisy.
Yeah, they've stopped with they've stopped with the evilization of cannabis here in Canada. There is no fear mongering anymore. You have your groups that have influence over Health Canada as far as licensing limits on edibles, but like you can get whatever you want product wise. I can go to my supplier and I can get 12 different isolated cannabinoids, 12 different ones: CBV, CBG, CBN, THCA, THC, THCV. I don't even know them all, to be honest. And that's strictly medicinal use. No one's using CBG recreationally, for lack of a better word, or in a personal.
I am.
Are you?
I go to the store and I seek out these different types of cannabinoids, and I don't know. What I was going to get to too is in California we have free for all, right? But outside of there, we're in our own little bubble. Like here, I'm in Florida right now currently, and they just voted down the law for recreational use. However, there is literally every single shopping center has at least maybe 1 to 2 smoke shops that are fully dedicated to CBD Delta 9 products, right? So it's still Delta 9 right there at your fingertips. And they have a medical thing. I can go to the doctor for $100 and get a prescription, but there's also every single block has at least 1, 2, 3 different CBD stores. You walk in and they have jars full of flowers, THCA with CBD diamonds, and they use all these different types of extracts, the CBGs, the CBNs, and what I've noticed since leaving California, because I was spoiled and had just THC products, and I started introducing myself to the Delta 9s that were hemp derived, which is the same exact thing. I'm getting the same results because, I'm still getting that 15 milligrams of THC in my gummies or in my chocolates or whatever, but they have extremely high levels of CBD. So now I've kind of stepped outside of my comfort zone and I'm starting to explore all these different cannabinoids. But the point being is we don't have it's still like state by state, it's completely detached. They're completely detached from the idea of what they're even voting on. Like, you guys just turn down a law that you already have legal, and they don't even understand that it's already there. Like, everybody is able to go no matter what. You don't have to have a medical license. They're not controlled shops. They don't have the controlled test results or any of these types of regulations. And you can walk into these head shops, or they're just regular smoke shops, and can get whatever product that you really want. And I mean, just the other day, I went to a place and the woman was telling me that I can have this drink and it was equivalent to smoking a quarter of cannabis. And I took a look at the can, and the can said that it had 5 milligrams of THC in it. And I was like, well, this girl obviously doesn't know what she's talking about. And then she sold me a pack of raw papers, and the raw papers were fake. They were, imported fake raw papers. And I'm just like, okay, so this is kind of what you're dealing with when you have this type of detachment from the knowledge base of the voters, of saying, oh, well, we don't want this in our town, or we don't want this like this. Meanwhile, it opened up the floodgates to all these other unregulated marketplaces, and it's in the end, it's the same, if not less healthy for their population. And they could have controlled that with a simple signing of a law saying, we want 5 dispensaries in this city, and that's it.
There was a lot of people that spoke out against that Florida legalization because they were going to regulate it. And I didn't understand that. They all said that corporate cannabis will take over if it requires the testing and the this and the that. And I thought, that's like saying I'd rather drink bathtub gin than make them test the product. I don't understand that. And
I understand what you're saying.
I think that's your separation between state and federal. Your federal government needs to step away from cannabis, or they need to fully legalize it. They need to either say, look, this goes to the states, but they must either regulate it or ban it completely.
But if you put something on the market, there must be some quality control. There must be, because industry is too dirty. They are
There must be, but if they allow, like they do this hemp product, right? In the States, because their bureaucracies don't understand the English language, they write a law that bans THC. It doesn't ban THCA, which is so they don't understand chemical language.
But if you put,
So go ahead.
I am now testing the products for a few years, and I realize that regulation is better than Wild West. You know what I mean? Because people are not getting what they should get. Because there is no regulation, not just cannabinoid contents, heavy metals, molds, whatever. You know what I mean? Some products can be dangerous.
Herbicides.
So it must be, if we are able to regulate, nuclear weapons and all the shit, I cannot understand that we are not able to regulate cannabis. It should
We can. Just there's a large sector of the consumer base that believes it should be like growing tomatoes at home, but they don't realize the tomato you buy at the grocery store is regulated as to what pesticides they can use while growing it, what can
I
be
know.
on it when it goes to the store. It has to be irradiated because they don't want to kill you with it.
With education, the key, listen, the key is education. You have people that are eating shit from the Walmart, and you have people who are eating good, healthy food. It will always be like that.
Yeah.
And it's our
Yeah.
job and cannabis industry job to educate people what and how to use.
This is the key of what we're doing and what you're doing, melding that together, is that at the end, when it gets regulated, it's how it should be regulated. What aspects of
Exactly.
it, like how it goes to the market so that we know that it's a safe product,
Exactly.
where it's tested, what's tested, and how it's grown. Because because you don't want. Look, it's an organic product. It could be infected with all kinds of things, including E. coli, salmonella,
Whatever.
pesticides, herbicides, whatever can infect a food or a medicine can infect cannabis, depending on the delivery system, right? So,
Yeah.
regulating it through education is the key to a good, worldwide, prosperous, and healthy cannabis market. And it's exactly what Beyond the Haze is here for, to bring people such as yourself with that drive for the knowledge and the research side of it, together with those others that we're going to be talking to that make the regulations, so that we can bring it all together through, say, MetaFlora's node network, where all that data is going to be stored so that they can access it and make informed decisions when making regulations. That's the goal. We want, let's say you're in Moldova and you want to make cannabis legal, but you don't know where to turn. There's a database for you to look at real information that's verified, peer reviewed, double blind stuff that you won't be ridiculed for bringing to your parliament. And
Exactly.
that's what
That's
I
right.
would love to see happen. And
That's
through
right.
cooperation, it will.
Yeah, it's all about global cooperation at this point. We have people in all nooks of the world here that are driving forces. They're all activisms backed by research and development. I mean, shit. Yeah, we're sending weed into space. You know, and no, literally, there's weed being sent up into space, not just seeds, but actual products of extracts and flower. And there's people down here on Earth saying that, oh, I don't know, I don't believe any of this health studies that are coming out of here. It's absolutely wrong.
I
To
just had a
just
thought.
too many extents.
We maybe don't need ice. Maybe we could get Elon to turn just one of his starships, the interior of it, into a grow room. Then the starship goes up. It grows. It flies around for 3 months. We do both a photo period and a some auto flowers, so we see the difference. And then we bring it to the Moonbase 1 or wherever, and we all test it.
Find contact to Elon. I'm sure we can present him on the right way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, you know what, it would be cheaper. I'm telling you right now, it would still be cheaper, I think, to build a grow room inside a starship than it would be ice, because everything that NASA touches, you can add 2 zeros at least. It costs 100 times more than what Elon does.
I know.
So just give us the shell of the starship and put it in space and help us get it down. We'll build the inside. LED lights, big solar panel.
Yeah.
We'll get Mars Hydro
Well,
involved. No.
Maybe good idea, but let's go step by step. I have so many projects and everything, I cannot handle it.
well, Bozidar, yeah, make sure. Yeah, fill me in our chat that we have going on, and let's keep this conversation going. I want to definitely talk to you more about all these projects that you have going on there. I know I personally would love to help out in every sense in every sense in the word,
Me too.
And I know Clark is 100% on board. He's very well connected in the cannabis industry, as am I as well. MetaFlora, our company, this is our mission at hand as well. We would love to do anything that we possibly can, whether it's raising money, raising awareness, everything under that umbrella. And we're here to help. We're here to push this mission forward. And what you're doing with SpaceX and putting things on that Falcon 9 and the 2 years of research and development that's going to be coming out of that in these next couple of years, where every one of us, all of our listeners, are going to be completely astonished about this fact, and we hope to see more from it. And hopefully we can, track it along with you and make this thing huge.
Yeah, I will present the project
Absolutely.
now in Budapest in February, and I think I will talk about
You
it
know
on
what?
the ICBC in Berlin.
Maybe I'll go out to that Budapest event. I'm actually going to be going back to Europe in about 2 to 3 weeks. So and I'll be in Romania, so I'll be really close to Budapest at that point. It'll be a quick flight
Depend where
from
in
my hometown there.
Romania is big.
Brasov.
That's north. That's not far.
Yes, it's in the Carpathian mountain range.
Yeah. Okay. That's not that far.
But we just got a new airport in town, and I believe it goes to Budapest. If not, I'd have to just go down to Bucharest, and it'll be a quick flight.
No, then maybe you visit us also in Ljubljana to see what we
I
are
would
doing.
love to. If anybody listening is thinking about going to Slovenia, don't think twice, because it is absolutely beautiful, beautiful country. All the people there are absolutely amazing, friendly. Your food is great. Your mountains are beautiful. It's, A+.
Okay, enough.
Listen, it's been wonderful having you on the show, and I can't wait to find out more. And we'll have to have you back for season 2 to get an update on everything.
Okay,
Yes, please do.
looking
All
forward.
right.
See you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice
You're
night.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
So today our musical guest, he's an artist, an actor. It's JP Cali Smoov. He hails from West Los Angeles and has his roots in Chicago. He's renowned in the battle rap scene. He's collaborated with industry names like Snoop Dogg and Molly Mall. His musical ventures include partnerships with Wiz Khalifa, Eptos Uno, Eddie Mean, Bizarre, Sugar Free, and a whole bunch more. Let's bring him on up here. How you been, man?
Man, I'm solid, man. I appreciate the invite, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we
Welcome to
appreciate
the
you being
show.
here.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. You know, I'm a big cannabis supporter. You know, supporting of the community for sure. And big in the hip hop Web3 scene too. You feel me?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We were
Sure.
kind of taking a look at your history and your Rolodex. You've been at it for a minute, it looks like.
Oh,
yeah, a few months, man. Been going strong. Getting
Nice.
popping.
That's
You
what's
feel
up.
me? Getting the Web3 space popping for a few months and just building in the community. I've been doing hip hop my whole life though. So every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
What brought you? What made you make the jump into Web3?
You know, a friend of mine introduced me to a platform, and I have a lot of music, and I'm into financial literacy, and I just felt like it was a great mix. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you've got what, about 7 songs out on Gala Music now?
Yes.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with Layla Steinberg, man. She was my first mentor.
Okay.
She's the head of Gala Music. Yeah, she, I came up in her class and learned from her hands-on. It's been since I was like 11 years old. I've been going. So, you know, it's big shouts to Layla.
Yeah, right on. I saw you the other day on Aim for the Heart series as
Oh,
well.
word. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We were
That's
just talking to Louis King the last episode about it as well, and
that's what's
he
up.
says his hellos.
Yeah, that's my dog right there, man. That's
Yeah, for
go.
sure.
That's my boy. Louis King really helped me with understanding Web3 and getting through the process and uploading and understanding what an NFT is and what trading coins and the value and understanding the market and stuff. You feel me? I still call them trying to understand certain things.
Yeah, it's a whole different
Yeah,
world. A lot of variables to just instead of just selling a song. There's a lot of understanding behind what that is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure. And then not just listening to a song. You get more for your song than just listening, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You feel me?
yeah.
You,
That's why I love Gala music as well. It's, you can go on there, you can purchase one of your songs, you can support the artist directly, and that's so super absent in the music industry these days.
I,
We're all sitting at
Hmm.
home enjoying the artistry, the hard work that's put in by all these artists, and all that money goes to a platform instead of
yeah.
the artist. And it takes a lot for you guys to go into the studio and write these songs and produce the music. um,
Absolutely.
and then as a listener, me, I'm not very musically inclined, but I'm a bigger fan than anybody else in the sphere of music. So I can go and I can support my favorite artists, and being on the Gala Music platform, I get paid every day. I get an emission of that token for not just supporting that artist, but because other people are listening to them as well. It's like it's a match made in heaven, man, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely agree for sure.
Yeah, that's what attracted kind of us too to jump into that was, well, I mean, I was involved in Gala Games since about like 2020, so kind of got to see the the platform develop and come about. And then as a producer and an artist, it was pretty cool to eventually be an artist on the platform, kind of a full circle type deal. And it's definitely a whole different frontier. I mean, I think the biggest aspect that is a big difference between listening to somebody on Spotify and Gala Music is the direct access people will have to y'all. Have to right to the artist. You can jump into Discord and it's mostly artists. A lot of artists in there chilling and talking, so you can, have conversations with not only these artists you're supporting and buying their music. It's just a whole different environment and relationship that an artist can build with a fan.
Agreed.
That's the best part. All you guys are all in that Discord. Everybody's talking, and you can have that personal relationship. You can make friends with these guys. And I bought a node before Gala Music was even a platform. It was just in its idea phase.
Mm.
And like I said, I'm not an artist per se. I'm not an artist in the music industry, but I'm an artist when it comes to cannabis. I believe that waking up every morning, taking care of the plants, breeding, growing somebody else's strains that I got from down the street, and I put blood, sweat, and tears into those plants every single day. And I'm a Web3 enthusiast through and through, and that's what birthed MetaFlora. I'm like, I want to do what Gala Music has done with artists to the cannabis industry. We need to be
Amazing.
having this ledger on there. We need to have all these genetics on there. And Gala Music has artists from around the world. We got people in Bulgaria. We have people from Kenya. We have people from LA. There's people all over the place. And what I've strived to do here in MetaFlora is pretty much the same thing, because I was so inspired by that Gala Music platform that I wanted to introduce it into the cannabis industry as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Speaking of, man, I got the first ever Web3 rap battle going down in February. February 8th is the first ever Web3 rap battle.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
saw.
rap battles are always on
I've been following
YouTube
that.
and a couple other hip hop platforms like Rap Grid. Shout out to all those platforms. But this is going to be the first ever rap battle where you can directly support. You know, we're gonna create a mystery box with it. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be big for the hip hop culture and the Web3 culture, blending in such a niche underground market like battle rap.
Yeah, for sure. Is that going to be on Gala Music, or is that going to be on a different platform?
Gala Music.
Gala Music. All right, nice. Yeah, I saw you post about it, and I was curious, what that was going to be all about, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, definitely. You know, check my YouTube channel out. I do a lot of rap battles. I host a lot of rap battles, throw a lot of events. You feel me? I have my own event company here in Los Angeles.
Nice. Man,
Very nice.
we should talk some more about that. I would like to get MetaFlora involved in some of the stuff that you guys are working with over there.
Now,
especially
you know
if you guys
what,
are
bro?
doing
We
so
actually
often.
do cannabis tables and cannabis vendors a lot. Like that's something that we involve into the hip hop events a lot. You feel me?
Of course, exactly. I think, that would be right in our wheelhouse. We're trying to do a white label with Canna Claus here too, bringing some select choice cannabis in from the connoisseur himself, and this would be a great place. I mean, if y'all don't know, LA is the hub for cannabis.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know anywhere else that knows more
the
about
people
cannabis
that
than
are, the
LA.
people that are hosting the battle, a lot of, like, I haven't
I
announced
know
it
you.
yet.
Clark's looking at me like, "Hey, don't. It's all about Canada. It is okay, sure. But if you and we're looking at it, California is the biggest
Your
place.
population of California is the same as the population of Canada.
Is that right? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, about 40
crazy.
million people.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, from the California cannabis industry, all the cultivators from Humboldt to Nevada County, all the way to Sonoma, all eyes are always focused in on the LA marketplace. It's always changing. They have the biggest culture over there, and hip hop is the driving force behind a lot of it.
Absolutely.
And so these things that you're putting on with the rap battles and things, and I didn't even know that you guys were doing things like vending of cannabis at these types of
absolutely, man.
events.
That's honestly at like 60 to 75% of the event.
You're getting cafes come January 1st, right?
Yeah, but we got a couple already. I saw that. There's a couple already.
Sure.
That's
Well, you
the
can open a
LA.
hip-hop
That's
club
the LA
then, right?
mind right there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when is it legal? Oh, we already got that shit.
Yeah. But now you could like open a hip hop club,
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
cannabis hip
Now we
hop
can-
club, and not get hassled, right?
Exactly. On the real.
That's what's
on
up.
the real.
And it's funny, like the LA market for sure, because all you got to do is get the right person to say the right strain name, and that's the hot strain now, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, the power of music, the power of culture. I mean, where else do you find it?
Definitely.
And on Snoop's Missionary, he talks in the one song in the middle, I'm smoking that nitro. And now all of a sudden everyone wants fucking nitro,
Yeah.
right? Oh, that's what Snoop smoked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this week.
Right.
Right?
He probably
So-
just had it in that studio session.
Yeah,
Yes,
or it
that's
rhymed,
right, that's
would
right.
rhyme with, the sentence before. So,
I never.
let's hear some music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think we have the music video to the Love Hate track that is out on Gala Music.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're gonna take a look at the JP Cali Smoov Love Hate music video.
I love when you hate on me. Tell me what I ain't gon' be. Tell me what I ain't gon' see. Oh, I love when you hate on me. 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 Oh, I love when you hate on me. Yeah, I love when they wait on me. I love when they watch my move. I love when I clock in. Love I ain't got friends. Love I'ma do what I do. Hate when they show fake love. Rather to see what a snake's made of. Try to blend with a dap and a hug. Within got capped with a grudge. Ooh, I love that my circle's small. I love that the earth don't pause. I love that we all got flaws. I trust I'm in touch with God. Put pain in the words of my song. Got fame from the words of my bars. Made it lame, but my purpose large. My aim is to evolve, yeah. My name up in the stars. Put a plaque on the studio wall. I ain't got a best friend, I ain't got a check-in, I ain't got a crew to go call. Stand on my toe, I won't fall. A man gotta do what he can. Damn, to my face on that stand. My plan is to evolve. Yeah. I love when they making rumors. The haters won't say it to us. They watching my page is private. I'm probably their influence. I love when they watch my trips. Don't like what they see my pics. I love when they count me out. Without hate, love won't exist. Yeah, love when you hate on me. Tell me what I ain't gon' be. Tell me what I ain't gon' see. Oh, I love when you hate on me. 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 Oh, I love when you hate on me. Yeah, I love when you hate on me. Tell me what I ain't gon' be. Tell me what I ain't gon' say. Oh, I love when you hate on me. Yeah, I love when you hate on me. I love when you hate on me. I love when you hate on me. Oh, I love when you hate on me.
I love when they making rumors, the haters won't say it to us. They watch it from private pages, I'm probably their influence. I love when they watch my trips, don't like but they see my pics. I love when you count me out, without hate love won't exist. Smooth.
So what else? What else you got going on this new year? What do you got planned for 2025? What are you going to be smoking on? What are you going to be rapping on? We want to know.
Yeah, man, I got some dope features coming out. I got some big moves popping, some dope features with some artists from Taylor Gang coming out. You know, they're heavy on the weed community too. So shout out to my boy Young Deji, Too High. They've been going crazy. They're heavy on the weed community. I got some music coming out with them, music videos, all that. You feel me? Stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I'll be putting on, like I said, I put on my own show, so I stay consistent. And I'm also doing other people's events too, you know. So I'm bouncing out. It's always something new going on. It's always a flyer going up. It's always a song coming out.
Very nice, man.
Gotta keep hustling the hustle.
Yeah. So what? How many events do you think that you do per year? And are they all based in LA?
All around, yeah. But at least I try to do something every month. I feel like 30 days is enough time to produce some content.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good number.
Yeah, I got next year we going to Michigan in January. February I'm doing my event in LA. March I got an event in Kansas City. April I got an event in Rochester, New York.
Where are you going to be in Michigan in January?
Pontiac.
Okay.
For what?
I got a rap battle.
Right on. Make sure you send that info too. We got a lot of people from Michigan that we're in contact with up here on X. Michigan, right around the corner from me.
Okay,
Not very
word.
far.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me a pop.
Yeah.
On the real.
Right across from Windsor, right? Canada and Pontiac are like less than an hour apart, depending
This
on
is
the
my
bridge.
first time. Yeah, this is my first time, so I'm excited
on.
to go. Yeah,
Right
on
on.
the real.
You, I mean, a man of many talents, but you're also a poet as well, right? I believe you got a poetry book that you read a few years back. Anything planned on that front coming out? Anything new?
Yeah, man. Actually, the book just got distributed in the Los Angeles prison system, the California prison system.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, I definitely want to start promoting that again, promoting that more, and then I want to drop it as an audio book. That's actually in my 2025 goals, to produce the audio book of that. You feel me? It's a self-help poetry book. I feel like a lot of people need, not need to, but can use writing as a coping method for things that we go through in day-to-day life. You feel me? So I use myself as an example, and I write about the things that I was going through and the poems that I used to utilize writing as a coping method, you know?
And
100%.
just for our listeners, what was the name of that book and where is it available?
Okay, yeah, it's on lulu.com. You feel me?
Okay.
My first book is called Untold, Unheard, and Unwritten. That's on Amazon as well. You feel me? Edited by Layla Steinberg. And then my newest book is called Depression the Right Way. Right spelled WRITE.
Nice. It's a very dope title. Definitely have to check that out. Anybody listening, make sure you
Y'all
definitely
gotta
check
send
that
me
out.
an Addy. I'm gonna shoot y'all some, man. Send y'all one right in the mail. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up, dude. I love that.
Sure, for sure.
On the real, just drop me the Addies in Discord. You feel me?
All right, word. Very nice.
Yeah, audiobook is a great idea. Poetry read by the poet cannot be beaten.
No, I don't. I agree with you.
Yeah, we do. We just do some spoken voice stuff around here, and you can read a poem all you want. But when you hear it with the inflections and the tones and all the things that the poet themselves wanted in that, it can change the whole thing for you. So I think that audiobook, that is a very, very worthy thing for you to do.
Thank you. Yo, you just motivated me a lot.
Right on. Right on.
No, for real. Hey, I'm gonna have to shoot y'all that link too, man, when I drop the audiobook. I'm doing first quarter too. Watch. Get it right out.
Nice. That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
For real.
Sounds good.
If at any point you need any beats for that rap battle, Earthlings Music, we got a vault. Happy to send you some shit. So,
Man, on the real, yeah. Even besides the rap battle, I
yeah,
think-
absolutely. We'd love to do something, man. Love to collab with you, dude. Love your style, man. More than
Yeah, I'm
happy.
working, bro.
Nice.
I love to ping pong some ideas, man.
All right, we'll make it happen.
Fact. No, for real. I'm glad y'all invited me up. This is definitely a dope crowd. I definitely want to be around and conversate with more like-minded people. You feel me?
For sure, for sure.
Yep. That's what we're here for. Building that community, that cannabis community with all the other communities, all the interacted communities. Cannabis has it's got its fingers out there, man. It's out there in a lot of different things. And we all get along because we're all members of the cannabis club,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, for real. And if you can't make it in February, y'all can watch the battles live on Gala Music site. You feel me? All the rap battles are gonna be streamed. It's gonna be 6 battles that night. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a dope event.
Right on.
Very nice, man. Yeah, we'll definitely put up your Gala Music links. I'm sure we can find a link to that Amazon, to that book, possibly put that up too as well. But
Yeah.
looking forward to everything you got coming out here in 2025, and hopefully we see a MetaFlora and Cali Smoov combo as well this year.
Thank you.
Definitely. We got to continue this conversation a lot more. My gears are spinning.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man.
Unreal.
Yeah.
The sky's the
Yeah,
limit.
if you're
You feel me?
holding events too, I mean, we were just talking with in the last show with Louis King too. We were kind of shooting it back and forth about getting Gala Music involved, getting Lionheart Entertainment involved, MetaFlora. I told him that I was about to talk to you, and he was super stoked. And we should put something together, man. I'd be more than happy to do so. Anything that we can do to play our part into pushing this culture further.
Absolutely. Vice versa, man. Let me
Awesome.
know, it starts with the idea. It starts with putting it out there, putting ourselves out there. And I'm all for the progress. Like I said, I'm pushing the Web3 stuff. I'm pushing my music. I'm pushing the events. Anyway, I can promote or cross promote or benefit you guys in any way with what I'm doing already. I'd love to do that. You feel me?
Awesome. Well, we have this MetaFlora Artist Coalition that's just getting the ball rolling right now. And we got a lot planned for 2025. So let's stay in contact and we'll roll this thing out together, man.
Absolutely.
But I want to know one thing.
What's
What
up?
are you smoking on? What's your favorite strain?
Man, indoor, indica, you feel me? Maybe hybrid, maybe hybrid, but leaning on the indica dominant, you feel me? Only indoor,
Definitely.
you feel me? I had some good greenhouse and all that, but it's cool. But I'm pushing for the indoor. I like them OGs. I like that funk, that gas, that skunk that hits your nose. You know what I mean?
I
no,
do.
very
Hell yeah,
give me the
man.
skunk.
Yeah, man. You
Yeah,
feel
if
me?
I
I'm
wanted
real
fruity
specific.
pebbles, I'd have cereal.
If that's what I'm saying. Where did the industry go? Why do we have so many fruity strains out there? Like
silly rabbit. Tricks are for
silly
kids.
rabbit.
motherfucker.
I will admit though, the fruitier strains, I'll keep them in a jar. I'll collect them, but I only want like one nug, and I'll put it away for like special occasion. But I'm a daily smoker. You know, I want a smoker smoke, and the only smoker smoke that there is a gas strain. It's only for me. I don't know who smokes the forbidden fruit on a daily basis, but if you do, you're crazy.
Same way, bro.
It's like eating cheesecake every day instead of a meal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. They're nice. Like they're nice to have once in a while for those flavors, right? Like you say. But
and also, I mean, they look great. I mean, the breeding practices that they're doing in order to create these type of like terpene levels and stuff like this. I mean, hats off to all the breeders out there that are producing them. But if you're listening, better get back to those gas strains because it's been lacking for quite a long time. And the only things that I don't know, is it nostalgic nowadays where like the only gas strains that I know are the ones that are like from 10 years ago? You know, you got to bring back these like legacy strains these days because they've all been crossed so many times in order to produce these flavor profiles and that and even those aromas from the bag appeal. You know, it's I don't know. I think it has to do with the crossing to make a more rockier, more dense buds instead of having the looser, airier, gassy strains that were known to love.
When you get up here, and we're gonna smoke. A friend of mine has a company called The Loud Plug up here. They have a strain they call exotic gas.
Word.
I swear to God, it tastes exactly like the smells when you're in my 72 Corvette.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's vintage. It's all around vintage.
You sit in that car and you smoke that joint, you're like, motherfucker should taste exactly the same as your car.
What's that 79 Corvette, man?
72. Yeah.
72. Sorry.
That is exotic gas right there. I told him, I said, that shit's named proper.
I got some unnamed genetics in my vault back in California. I'm going to name it the 72 Corvette.
There you go.
Nice.
Listen, man, it was great having you on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having me for real, man.
And that battle sounds fun. And I want to see what's going on in Michigan in January. What's there? I'm busy. I won't be able to get down to it, but I'll be able to talk people to go to it.
Well, Canada Gloves, I'm sure you don't know yet, but we're going to have to turn you on to it. The only thing more addicting than a 72 Corvette in your joint is these mystery boxes. And I'm stoked that you guys are releasing one for this rap battle because I'll be spending my music on that.
My dog. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll have to hear what that's all about.
It's going to go far for sure.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to everything you got coming out. We'll definitely
thank y'all, man. Hey,
we'll keep plugging it.
And like after the battle and all that, let's spin it back and have a recap episode.
100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Sounds
It
good.
was nice having you on, man.
Yeah, appreciate your time.